Hello, welcome to another Tuber Tuesday. I love these videos in which I get to talk to you about what's going on with my reading, talk about reading wrap-ups. It's exciting to be finishing 2020. There's just so much I want to talk about today because I need to do my December 2020 wrap-up. Luckily, last time for the November wrap-up, I really did a wrap-up of the year up to this point, so I don't feel like I have to cover the whole year again. I read every single book that was on my December TBR, and I even accidentally read 2 of them at the end of November. Funny story, I just had some extra time there at the end of November and went ahead and finished 2 of my books, so that quickly took them off of the December TBR, and I replaced them with the second and third books from the Chaos Walking trilogy, because oh my goodness, once I read book 1, The Knife of Never Letting Go, I immediately wanted to read the rest of that trilogy because that Patrick Ness, that clever author, ended each book on a cliffhanger, which is somewhat upsetting, but it's okay. When you've got a trilogy going on and people know it's a trilogy, you're good. The only time it's really an issue is when people don't know that the book is part of a series and it ends on a cliffhanger, especially if the author never gives us the rest of the books. In addition to reading what was on my TBR, I read extra books. When I was reading the Stormlight Archive to get caught up to the Rhythm of War, by the way, I'd actually really read book 1 already, other than the very end. I just saved the end so that I could officially finish it in December. But while I was reading the books, I realized that there were little side stories. I don't want to call them short stories. Most people call them novellas. And so I added those 2 novellas into my reading because, like, literally when you start reading book 3 of the Stormlight Archive, Oathbringer, there's a little note from Brandon Sanderson that says, you may want to read this side story called Edge Dance. And then when you go look that up online, you realize that, oh, between book 3 and 4, there's another one. And let me tell you something, between book 3 and 4 of the Stormlight Archive is a book called Dawn Shard that I highly recommend. Once I finished that series, and basically once I was on vacation, I realized I could just spend most of my day finishing those up. It was great. Then I gave in to Cloak and Dagger Christmas. If you don't know about Cloak and Dagger Christmas, you should check out a channel. It's called Too Fond of Books. She's been talking Cloak and Dagger Christmas since November, and from her channel I linked over to Kate Howe's channel, where I guess Kate Howe's been doing this for a while. She has different people co-host from year to year, but Cloak and Dagger Christmas was very exciting. The first week that Janelle was talking about it, I was just like, oh man, this is a great idea. I wish I hadn't already picked my books for the month because I'd love to do this. The second time that I watched one of her videos talking about it, I was like, oh, it's so exciting. I love mysteries. I should be doing Cloak and Dagger Christmas. And by the time I watched her third video about it, I finally gave in. Just like, yes, I will do Cloak and Dagger Christmas. I will find a way to read these mysteries at some point. And I did. I managed to go ahead and throw in a few mysteries for the months. I also read the first book in the Miss Marple series by Agatha Christie, which is Murder at the Vicarage. And a vicarage is the home of a vicar, of course. That was something I looked up just to make sure I understood. And then I also decided to read some books in the Hercule Poirot series by Agatha Christie, and I started at the beginning, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, and then read the second book in the series, The Murder at the Links, and then I pushed on through to get to a book I've been wanting to read for a long time, Murder on the Orient Express. So very exciting. By reading these books, I believe I have accomplished what was necessary for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas prompts. And the idea with this is you get points. I've not actually officially tallied them up. I figured I'd do that with you right here, right now. Kate Howe listed these out. They use the rooms from the board game Clue or Cluedo as the prompts for this year, and if you get 3 of them, you're considered an amateur sleuth. 6 of them, you're a police detective, and 9 of them, you're Sherlock Holmes. And on Kate Howe's video, she said that you can cross-apply, so you can read a book and apply it to more than one of these. She also said the book doesn't have to be classified as mystery in order to count for this, so that's awesome, because in the Stormlight Archive books, Shalon, who is my favorite character from there, often investigates things. she investigates a murder. In the book Dawn Shard, there's a team going to a mysterious island to investigate what's up with the mysterious island and figure out what that they're going to find there. There are mystery elements embedded in what I was already reading, which of course makes for great literature. So let's see. The first one is study something associated with your profession, what you studied in college, or a field you'd like to learn more about. Artemis, I completely left out from the list. I read Artemis this month. That's by Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian. And part of Artemis is it's a crime, con, heist kind of book set in space on a moon colony. And they have to deal with the politics and business involved in it. There's a lot going on with a business contract. When I was in college, I minored in business law. So I feel like I can very much apply the mystery from that sci-fi crime novel and get a point for study. Let me just mark that off. All right, next up on the list, for the library, a book that references other books, or you could borrow a book from the library. Okay, the entire Stormlight Archive, all four of the major books, they are titled based on a book, which is fascinating. The Way of Kings is titled because there's a book in the story called The Way of Kings. In Oathbringer, I was wondering how that was going to work because Oathbringer was the name of a sword, but one of the characters ends up writing a book called Oathbringer. Yes, these books have mystery elements in them. Like I said, Shallan investigating a murder, Shallan infiltrating a crime organization, all of that. So going to be able to check that off real easily. All right, Hall. Entry into a new to you mystery subgenre or author or series. Yep, I can check that off. For the Agatha Christie books, I read a Miss Marple book for the first time. Billiard Room. Next numbered book in a series. All right, awesome. I read multiple books in the Hercule Poirot series, so I can get the Billiard Room point. Conservatory. Nature or travel or warm climate. Like I was saying earlier, Dawn Shard is a book about people traveling to a mysterious island. Figure out that stuff, so that gets me that point. Kitchen. Cozy food-based mystery or small town mystery. All right, I think Murder at the Vicarage will count for that one because that's a cozy little small town that has a bunch of crime and murder in it. Dining room, closed circle mystery or small group of people. Aha! I read Murder on the Orient Express this month, so I'll get that point. Lounge, cocktails written or set during the Golden Age, 1920s to 30s. Well, that is when Agatha Christie was writing those books that I was just talking about. So yes, those are set during that time period. And then Ballroom Party. Let me think. Party. Jazz and Artemis host a little party at her home. That's awesome. Cloak and Dagger Christmas. I was barely even trying until the last few days when I suddenly decided that I needed to read more mystery books. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Kate Howe. Cloak and Dagger Christmas is an awesome idea, and I have got it written down to remember for next year, in which case I can hopefully plan it even better. Maybe not have to cross-apply some books to make it work. But I really was impressed that a lot of what I read, whether it's fantasy or sci-fi, is already something that's got mystery elements to it. Wow, talking about Cloak and Dagger Christmas allowed me to really do my whole wrap-up for this month. Every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.